Hey everyone, welcome back to Dear Dad with Ivan and Brad. He's Ivan, I'm Brad, and we are two dads here to give you a perspective from a male and a father's viewpoint on everything marriage, divorce, co-parenting, parenting, as well as being a single parent. Ivan.
Yo.
I was thinking over the weekend, what would it be like if we could go back in time and meet someone that is now gone? So whether we go back in time or we resurrect them from the dead to talk to them, who would you want to talk to?
Kobe. I'd say Kobe.
Kobe who?
Bryant.
Oh, okay.
How many Kobes do you know?
He's the only one.
He was always my favorite player / athlete. Even before I knew he was, because that's who I was watching as a kid. You know, growing up in LA, I would watch basketball as a kid without knowing anything about basketball. But I was watching the Lakers, him and Shaq, you know. So, and I've said this before as well. I say a lot of things over and over, but I don't care. I've always given my kids, when it comes to sports, little jabs about Kobe, like, hey, Kobe did this, mama mentality, this and that, you know. So even before he died, I've always thrown those at my kids.
Right.
And when he died, man, that was so... I've never cried over a celebrity death. But, like, that hit me different. Maybe not only because of what he did, but who he was as a person, a dad. Then, man, that day when the news was coming out, boom, chopper down. That's one. Boom, Kobe dead. That's two. Boom, the daughter's with him. Now you're like, was his whole family with him? How many daughters?
Right.
Who was on the chopper? It happened to be him and his daughter, and then other people, other families outside of his family. But man, it was so sad just because of the story.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
A man and his daughter.
Oh yeah.
Dead. And apparently they were the closest ones out of the daughters, because she was a basketball player.
Right.
She's supposed to be really good already.
Yeah.
So, you know, and it was sad. So I've watched almost every single interview he's ever done. Super smart, speaks a few different languages fluently.
I heard 6.
Spanish fluently, Italian fluently,
Yeah.
English obviously fluently. I think he might speak some Mandarin. So, you know, just super smart. And he's somebody whose brain I like to pick about how to train somebody. I think he could have been possibly the greatest coach to ever live, if he ever coached professionally. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Because he would instill that mentality into all his players. And everybody would have no choice but to follow. Right? Because it's one thing for you as a NBA coach to say, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. And another thing for him to say it. You know what I mean? So I would love to pick his brain about that, so I can then transfer that to my children. You know, that's why I would like to meet him and talk to him. Get a couple of shoes signed, stuff like that.
There you go.
Man, his shoes are so expensive right now.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of his shoes are going for more than Jordan's right now.
I believe it.
It's crazy.
I believe it.
What about you? Who would you pick?
My first person I would pick would be Bruce Lee. You know, I mean, I've read about him, watched movies about him, watched videos on what he said.
Have you gone to his graveyard?
I went to that. But yeah, I would want to kind of know, kind of like what you said. I'd want to know, like, pick his brain, and really I would want to find out what inspired him and what drove him to be as extreme as he was. And I mean, he lived and breathed martial arts, and he really turned martial arts on its head and opened it up to, especially the Americas, because it was such a Eastern fighting type of whatever the word is I'm looking for, I can't think of it. But anyways, it was more Eastern driven, and he brought it to the States. And when he was told not to train Americans, he did. He ended up having to get into a fight to prove his martial art against some other, I don't know if it was a kung fu guy or a karate guy or who it was, but he had to prove himself. And he basically said, I'm still teaching and still going to train Americans. He trained, a lot of different people. He trained Steve McQueen, Akeem Olajuwon. He and Chuck Norris worked out together. I think probably Chuck Norris taught him if I understand it correctly, I believe Chuck Norris taught him the high kick, because Bruce Lee came from like a Gung Fu, Wing Chun type of background, and that is more of a low kick type of thing. But what Chuck was trying to instill in Bruce was, if you learn the high kick and you become really fast at it, your low kick will be even that much faster.
I thought Chuck Norris was a karate person.
Yeah, he is.
He is? Okay.
Yeah. So why?
Is that not what you said? Didn't you say something else?
I don't think so, but I know Chuck Norris has also learned Taekwondo, and he's also learned Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Mm-hmm. He trained with the Gracies for a little while. And so, but yeah, so anyways, I would like to meet Bruce Lee and just kind of find out what drove him to just be nonstop in his, I mean, he created a religion out of it, basically. I mean, it was, religious for him to go out, train, practice martial art, become an actor, and to move that into the acting realm, and then create one of the most, one of the biggest international martial arts movies of his time, which was Enter the Dragon. And 2 weeks before it was released, he, died. And so I would just kind of know, man, what drove you to be the best, and to, just where did that extreme nature come from?
Is being like water his most famous line, do you think?
I would say it's probably one of his.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Be like water, my friend. Yeah.
What is it talking? It talks about how water adapts to any shape, right?
Right. Important to pitcher, it becomes a pitcher. Important to a cup, it becomes a cup. Important to a bowl, it becomes a bowl. Water can smash, water can crash. Water is hard, water is soft. And then he ends up by saying, be water, my friend. Yeah. So, yeah, no, it's...
that's a great
it is
monologue there.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So, last episode, I told you that I wanted to show you another video.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
About why I love sports and why I love being a dad. And it kind of brings everything together. So, bear with us. It's a 3-minute video, but I'll put it up right here so everybody can see it. And this video, it makes me tear up every time I watch it. I don't know if it will now, but it's so beautiful.
You can tear up because you got your sunglasses on.
Yeah.
So I won't be able to tell.
All right, man. I'll show it to you. It's 3 minutes long. Watch it.
Yep.
Enjoy it.
You might even like it more than you like listening to us. So
yeah, maybe. Can you see from this far?
I can.
Okay.
Turn it this way. I might be able to see it. Oh, nope, it doesn't.
Got a big game today. Come on. Got a big game today. Big game today, right? You still mad at me? Huh? For what? You alright? Yeah. You young sucker. Yeah. Big game today. Big game today. I gotta get something out the trunk. Go get that.
The kid is sad right now.
Get that bag from out the trunk. Yeah. What? It's over. It went over. Get that box out of there for me. Shit. Happy birthday.
Me too, man.
Don't cry. You're about to make me cry. Don't cry. Pull it out. Let the world see it. I ain't forget about you.
My goodness.
Yeah. I want to see some home runs.
Oh,
I love you.
I already got tears.
Don't cry. Let me see.
Can't every
Let
time.
me see you post up with it. How you gonna knock it out the ball? There you go. Right. Yup. Happy birthday. That bat. That's the bat you wanted, right? Give me some. Give me some. I love you. All right. We're gonna go to this game and hit some home runs, right? That's right. I got it! Yeah! Yeah! I caught it, boo! I caught it, baby! Yeah! Way to go, boo! Nice home run,
That's
kid!
crazy.
Thank
That
you!
is crazy.
Thank you, boo! Yeah, boo! Nice home run, kid! I caught it, too!
Wow.
Isn't that beautiful, Brad?
That's crazy!
Wow. Man, you know what? Wow.
Every time, man.
What's crazy is that his kid did hit a home run after he said, we're going to go hit some home runs. We're going to go hit some home runs. And his kid's like, yeah, yeah. Then he does. And not only does he hit it, he hits it right to his dad. Like, what a gift.
It's bananas, man. That's why I love sports, man. Just things like that.
Yep.
And obviously, the sports isn't the big story of there, but like,
I think what's neat about sports is it does bring out the best and sometimes the worst in us. And it can drive you to be better. Like someone like Tiger Woods, who was an amazing golfer. And he just realized, I'm gifted at this and I'm going to keep doing it. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, all those guys, amazing, athletes all over the world. And it allowed them to showcase themselves. And there's probably tons of amazing athletes that we never got to see because they never made it to the pros. But there's amazing college, probably even amazing high school kids who, even the story about Rudy, the kid who played for Notre Dame, and he never was good enough for him to play. They finally put him in, and I can't remember how the movie went, but I think they put him in. I think he got a tackle, or maybe he ran the ball. I can't remember what happened exactly, but it was his dream to play for Notre Dame, and he finally got on there. And no, you never saw him in the headlines of, being this every week in and out player of always making huge plays. You never saw him go to the pros, but it allowed him to showcase himself for that moment and to live a dream that he always wanted. And I think that's the neat thing about sports and how so many of us who have played sports, we can relate to that. To have the game-winning shot, the game-winning home run, the game-winning pass or tackle or catch in the end zone, or kicking a goal in soccer or whatever it might be, whatever sport. It's just like, I did that. And you get to live in that moment, and it is just a moment, but it's a really cool moment to live in So, and it's neat to watch people who are trying to become somebody or just make themselves better at something, and they finally do it. Especially when it's your own kid. You know, that's really cool.
There's nothing better, man.
Yeah.
There's nothing better, dude. Like seeing my daughter play soccer, man, is so beautiful. So beautiful. Sometimes I get the chills. I can't believe what's happening in front of my own eyes. And right now the issues I'm having right now is she doesn't know that she could be special. Like, to me, she's already special. But when I say that she could be special, I mean that special. That's what I mean. Like, when she's older, she could be special. That's what I'm referring to.
Right.
And right now, she's like, she doesn't want to practice or learn new things because she's like, but I'm already good. I'm already the best. Like, yeah, you're the best right now. You're the best 5-year-old in your circle. But look at this kid in Paris that's 4 years old, and he's playing against 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
Look at this kid, right? You know what I mean? So I try showing her that, but it's still not budging. And so I need to have a talk with her, man. I really need to sit her down and tell her, like, she's capable, or she might waste something special in herself. Because if she starts practicing now, Brad, actually practicing, actually training, actually watching soccer stuff, she doesn't watch anything about soccer. You know that a Michael Jordan, a Kobe Bryant, a Shaquille O'Neal, a LeBron James, they did not do anything that wasn't basketball. They slept basketball, they played basketball, they watched basketball, they read basketball, trained basketball. Everything was basketball. Messi, you think he ever did anything that wasn't related to soccer? No. Maradona, anything related to? No. But so the issue I'm having with my kids is they don't even want to watch soccer. Or my son wants to learn basketball, but he doesn't want to watch basketball. Like, that's how you learn. In my eyes, that's how you learn. You want your son to get good at football? Put on some NFL every Sunday and make him watch it, because then he'll see he'll have goals. He'll have an idea of what to do. He'll see what these guys are doing. Maybe he'll go out and try that next practice, whatever, you know? I'm not saying you have to sit there for 10 hours and watch film.
Right.
But, hey, babe, instead of watching these weird YouTube videos for an hour, how about you watch some soccer tutorials instead? There's fun soccer stuff out there. Just got to find it. So, I don't know, man. That's the issue I'm having right now with my kids. That they seem to enjoy doing things, but they don't want to get all the way into it yet. They are still young, I know. But I think that they have to start young. Usually, if you look at the greats, they always start young. For the most part.
Yeah. What I would be interested in, and I think I know you and I differ on this, but what I would be interested in is how many of the greats had to have their parents push them. And the reason I say that is because
I agree with you.
Because I feel like besides Tiger Woods and like Michael Jackson, who from Michael Jackson's point of view, he even went on interviews and said, "I wish I could have enjoyed my childhood." You know what I'm saying? And that's why he created Fantasyland or whatever that was. Land.
Yeah, that's why.
Well, I I believe he was probably a good person. I believe maybe he was a little eccentric.
You don't believe the rumors?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
We've never gotten into this one.
Yeah. Macaulay Culkin, who was around him a lot, said he never did anything weird. And so, to me, I'm thinking, like, if Macaulay Culkin...
Is that the Home Alone kid?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but anyways, I would like to believe the best in people for the most part. And so I believe that Michael Jackson probably did get a little bit messed up from having his dad push him so much. He resented it. And so he did revert almost in an extreme way back to childhood type things. And he created this whole fantasy land and put up an amusement park because he wanted to have that. And then he offered it to kids and allowed them to, to participate in it and stuff like that. And, whatever story you want to believe after that, it is. The same with Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods' dad pushed him really hard, but I never heard anything about Michael Jordan's dad. Like,
he didn't
push
yeah,
him.
his dad was around, yeah.
But I know he respected his dad a lot, and I know his dad was there for him to support him. I know that Larry Bird, would shoot 3-pointers and shoot whether it was snowing, raining, extremely hot out. He was playing. Pistol Pete Maravich, he played, and he would spin a basketball on his finger for an hour while he was walking to the basketball court and walking back until his fingers would bleed on the tips. But his mom or dad wasn't there telling him to do that.
And that's what I mean. Those guys that you're mentioning, that I mentioned as well, they didn't do anything that wasn't basketball by themselves on their own. Those are the type of kids that will walk to school dribbling a basketball, walk to the park dribbling a basketball. Right. You know what I mean? Or Messi would walk to school dribbling a soccer ball on the ground to learn how to control the ball, never lose it. That's what I wish my kids would get to, but they're not there.
What if though?
I wish I wouldn't have to. I want to push them.
Sure.
Once they get to the age where they need somebody to push them. You know what I'm saying?
What if they used that love and passion that they have for something else though in life? Like they learn the skills to become a good soccer player, but then they take that and they put it towards their education, or they take that and put it towards, like you said, your daughter was into art. What if she became like a really amazing artist or something like that?
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
So I don't know. My thing is like I just don't want to take the love of the game away from my kids, and I feel like if you push them too hard, because there's a lot of kids that are really good at stuff.
Did you watch the King Richard movie?
I did not.
You got to watch it.
Yeah.
You know what it's about?
Is that about the twins, the
twin
chess
dad.
players?
Yep.
Okay.
Venus and Serena.
Yeah, the Williams.
And that was a story. Since they were kids, he said he had a big plan planned out for them. They're both gonna be tennis stars, and he was taking them to practice in the ghetto, in the hood. And I really, 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 what's it called when you equal yourself to something?
Compare, or you?
No.
Associate?
Sure, I associated with that movie.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Is that right?
Related.
I related. There you go.
Yeah.
I related to that movie a lot because that's kind of always been my attitude with them. There's nobody on this planet, Brad, that will believe in your kids more than you with anything they do. It could be sports, it could be school, it could be singing, whatever. That's why Michael Jackson's dad was like that, because he knew there is nobody in this world that will push my son as much as I will, that will get the most out of him as much as I will. Sure, he went overboard. That was a crazy story, crazy family, whatever. Right. I believe that people can do that at that level without it becoming an issue. It's just that there's people out there that are crazy, right? Or like if you watch the King Richard movie, he did a lot of good, and he did a couple things that weren't as good. Okay. But regardless, the result was amazing, right? I don't know. I think pushing your kids it can be great because there's nobody that's going to push them as much as you are.
And there's no way for us to know the statistics on this, so I'm just playing devil's advocate. It would be interesting to know how many parents have pushed their kids to be the best, and you've only heard about the stories of the kids who made it. So let's say that there's 5,000 parents who truly believe that their kids were the greatest singer, the greatest sports person, the greatest actor or student or whatever. So they pushed them and pushed them and pushed them.
Yeah.
And 499 of them didn't even make it.
Yeah.
Went on to do something else in life. And when the 500th person did make it, became famous, that's the one we hear about. And so we relate to that story. However, the chances of it happening obviously are 0.02%, or 0.002%, whatever it would be. So it's like, those are things that just pop up in my mind of like, do I push my kids so hard to the point of them not making it, and then they regret that I pushed them so hard because maybe they're more interested in something else? Because, for instance, like I played basketball, baseball, and football, and then I also did track. Well, I realized I wasn't super fast, and I didn't have an amazing arm. So my pitching days, like I was really accurate, but I couldn't throw faster than probably 50 miles an hour, 55, whatever it was, And so I just never really learned the technique of how to push off the mound and pitch really fast. And I played first base and I played outfield. However, I never developed my arm the way I should have. But I could catch really well. I could see the ball from super far out. And I always had coaches compliment me and tell my dad, like, man, your son, like as soon as the ball comes off the bat, nothing gets past him in center field. And it was just something I grew up developing, and I was really good at it. And my dad just told me the other day, like when we were talking randomly just about sports, he goes, man, Brad, you had really good hands. Like you could catch a football, and you're really good. But I didn't have any speed. And at the time, I didn't have any size. So because I didn't have any speed, and I still don't have any speed, and at the time I didn't have any size, it just didn't pan out for me it doesn't matter how good I can catch the ball if I'm never going to make any more yards after that because I'm going to get hit every single time or caught 2 yards after catching it. It didn't make sense for me to keep playing. And so my dad was a football coach, and my senior year, that summer, I started working on a ranch between my junior and senior year. And when my senior year came about, I decided I'm not playing football anymore. And people were blown away, mostly from the standpoint, not because I was some amazing athlete, just because my dad was a coach. And they're like, your brother plays football. I know your other brother's coming up and he plays football, and all 3 brothers played sports. They're like, you're not playing anymore? I'm like, no, I'm gonna go make money. And so I stayed with ranching for a while, and I really enjoyed that. And then I moved on to working in the retail, selling clothes and stuff like that, and just getting a regular job, getting a car. And I enjoyed it. And I remember my junior year, when I was doing 2-a-days, I just told myself, I am not doing this next year. I'm not going to come out here and work out for 4 hours a day, 2 hours this practice, take an hour off or whatever, come back and work out 2 more hours, sweat to death, feel like I'm going to pass out, have this helmet on me and these pads. I'm not doing this again. I'm just not. And I didn't. I told myself I wasn't, and I didn't do it. And I don't regret it. I'm glad I played football. I can go out and pick up football with some buddies if I need to right now. I understand the game. I'm glad I played baseball. I understand the game. I can go out and play softball now. I can play every sport to a certain extent, at least, or I understand it. But my dad, even though he's a coach, he understood also, like, Brad, I know you're not going to become great at this, so if you want to go do something else, that's fine. And it was my senior year, so it wasn't like it was going to give me a scholarship or anything.
But if your dad saw from a young age that you could be special, he would have pushed you.
I don't think he would have.
But you just said that he said, I know you're not going to be great, so I understand if you want to go do something else.
I'm saying I believe that's probably what he saw. He knew I wasn't going to become great because he could see that I wasn't super fast, or I wasn't like super strong, or whatever it might be. So he thought there's no point in trying to push him. But my brothers are both really good at sports. He didn't push them. My brothers pushed themselves and became who they wanted to become. And Tim was good at football, but he wasn't great. But he went on and went to college for 6 months, and he never played sports. And he said, you know what, school's not for me. He dropped out.
Gonna go make money.
Yeah. And so my point is that I feel like, and I'm glad your daughter's good. I am. I'm not saying that she could not become great. I just feel like my personal view is if you push them too hard now, she might lose her passion for it. Right now, it's fun for her. She likes to go out and kick the ball, get past everybody, score points, and be like, yeah, I'm awesome, and that's cool. And that's what you want. You want her to have passion and love it. I just personally feel if you push them too hard and you take away the fun times for them, then they don't want to do it anymore. They're like, if I go to Dad's house, he's going to make me go out in the yard and start kicking the ball around, and I just want to play with my toys or something. I'm not saying that's really what she's thinking. That's just my viewpoint of I don't want to take away the fun from my kid's childhood.
I agree completely with what you just said. And that's what my issue is, that I don't want to do that.
Right.
So that's my struggle right now, that I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish that they were more into learning it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because I don't want to push them out of the way.
Right.
I want to push them into it. I want to motivate them to want to keep going and to want to keep improving, right? Not to kill them with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's my struggle. So yeah, I agree with what you're saying.
I wonder, I always think like even like with my employees, I'm always thinking like, what can I do to drive them to care about what they're doing, to work as a team, you know, and to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if there's a way you can have your daughter do it in an interesting way, and all of a sudden she is, you know, liking it, like all of a sudden you're doing something like, hey, if you can make 10 goals in a row from right here, I'll give you $2 or $5 or whatever, or you know how you won the ice cream, and I said we're probably not going to go get ice cream today, or whatever it is. I will take you to go get your ice cream from, you know, their favorite ice cream place. If you can put 10 goals in from here, you got to put 10 in, and I'll allow you, like, let's just say 1 miss. But if you get 2 misses, you got to start over. And you got to do 10. So I'm going to give you got to make 10 out of 11 shots, or 10 out of 10, depending on how close or far away it is. Or you got to hit the stick with the ball, or you make something fun out of it.
Yeah.
And then they're doing something fun without realizing that they're really training, almost like kind of like
wax on, wax off.
Mr. Miyagi, you know.
And that is what I try to do for the most part.
Yeah.
I do try to do those sorts of things. I do. I get it.
That's cool.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is difficult being a parent and seeing something.
It's so hard making the right choice sometimes.
Yeah.
Because there's so many choices to make. And most of the time you're not making the right choice.
Yeah, as adults, 2020 hindsight, we can definitely say this is the better of the 2 choices or the better of the 4 choices, and our kids don't know that yet because they don't know all the intricacies of
Life.
why this is a bad decision.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Co-parenting issue
yes,
that I've been having. My son's hair. My son has amazing hair.
mm-hmm.
Amazing hair.
Like Elvis Presley type hair.
I mean, who has Elvis Presley type hair, right? But yeah, low key, he's getting there.
Yeah.
You know, I always make sure for the most part, that he's freshly cut.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he gets a haircut probably once a month.
That's good.
Which is pretty often.
Yeah.
And it's always at a barbershop,
Mm-hmm.
good barber. He's been going to the same barber since he was, 3-4 years old.
So they know his hair pretty well.
They know his hair. He knows them. And now that guy left, though, so we're not going there no more. We're going to a new guy now, which will continue going there, and he'll be able to create that bond with him. You know, it was really cool, the other barbershop, because they were watching him grow, him and my daughter, because my daughter would come with us sometimes. You know, and sometimes when she doesn't come, they'll still ask, "Where's Bella?" You know, and it was cool. And I'm sure we'll create the same bond with this new barber. So, and it's expensive. Okay, I invest in my son's hair because I think I've mentioned all the time it's important for him to look good, right? Presentable. And the other day, he's with his mom and they call me, and he wants to get a mohawk. You know, I cut his hair with a comb over part on the side.
Yeah.
Skin fade on the sides, fresh. Every time we go out, always gets comments on his hair. Always. He gets more comments about his hair than my daughter gets about her bright blue eyes because he looks good. My son is handsome. His hair's always fresh. So, and, you know, his mom always pushes back on me being so adamant about do your hair, look good when you go out. Why she gives me an issue, who knows, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I've mentioned before. I'm not telling my kids to do something bad. This is good.
Mm-hmm.
If I was telling them to do something bad, okay, push back.
Right.
I'm not. This is good. I'm telling them to look good, to try their best. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So she's always giving me pushback on that. And so they call me. She's like, can I get a mohawk? I was like, listen, your hair looks amazing. Mohawk doesn't really go with your face, the shape of your head. It doesn't look great. Especially if his mom cuts it, because she'll do it at home and she'll just buzz the sides.
Oh, she was going to cut his hair?
Most likely. She did it before once, a few years ago.
Okay.
And
oh, okay. But is it like a flat mohawk, or
yeah.
like he just didn't spike it up right there?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
And it doesn't look great. And I told him, like, listen, it's not that I don't love you or anything. It just doesn't look as good as this one.
Mm-hmm.
You know? If my son doesn't look good in something, I will tell him, because I don't want other people to think that or to tell him that or to talk behind his back about that, you know? And when something looks great on him, I will tell him, because I want him to feel confident. I want him to know that he looks good. And she made a big deal about it, about how he just doesn't want to disappoint me, so he got sad when I told him no, and this and that. And it's like, first of all, I cut his hair a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
I just spent $45 on his haircut.
Right.
And 2, it doesn't look good. There's so many factors. Our culture doesn't really mess with that hairstyle. You know,
Did he ask for it, or did she mention it?
She mentioned it to him, then he's going to want it. And I told her, he might be upset right now, but if you don't bring it up, he'll be over in an hour. End of story. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even understand why she would bring that up to him, because, and I messaged her. I said, this is what I said to her, Brad. I said, don't cut his hair, please. Yes, mohawks are cool as hell, and I'd have one too if I could pull it off. But our son has literally perfect hair. The mohawk doesn't look great on him, and that's okay for us to tell him. We can't always say yes to everything they want. That would be like that would be like Bella putting in brown contacts to cover her pretty bright blue eyes. I said, just keep his hair. I told her I would never take Bella to a salon and tell him to do something with their hair, or I would never do something at home, because I know that's your thing. You know, me and the barbershop and my son, that's our thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I plan on taking my daughter to get manicures and pedicures together, both of us. But if I do,
you're gonna get the manicure and pedicure?
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
but if her mom says, Ivan, can you not do that? I want to take Bella to these things. Yeah, that's all you. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Because I understand that you want that. It is more of a girl thing, and you want to do that with her.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. Take her.
Right.
So when I ask you, please do not cut our son's hair. Please do not. Even if you're going to do a normal haircut, I still don't want you to take him, because it's our thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to create this tradition with my son. Like, hey, me and you, barbershop, we're going to look good, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I've never asked her for money for the barber, and they're expensive. Nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
I always pay for the haircut. I've always taken him to get the haircuts, other than the couple times she's, done this sort of stuff to me. But
right.
That's a big issue, man, for me. And it's not even so much the hair, but like the principle of it. It's our thing. I'm trying to make it our thing.
Mm-hmm.
I wish she would respect that. There's a lot of moms out there, a lot of single moms out there that would kill to have their baby daddy go give their son a haircut every once in a while.
Right.
Not to mention once a month like I do.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody I met, somebody I know, I won't say who it is, but I was talking to her, and she's like, she's semi recently separated from her husband, and they have two kids together, three kids. And I was talking to her, and I was like, where's this guy at these days, anyways? Like, I don't know where he lives. Like, there's moms out there that don't know where the baby daddy lives,
Right.
and you are having an issue with our son's hair. That I get his haircut every week.
Right.
I just don't understand it, man. I don't get it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's yeah. I get it. Especially after you just paid $45 for it.
A week ago.
Right.
That hurt too.
It'd be different if it's like, okay, it's been a couple months since I've gotten his haircut. You know.
This was on Friday, I believe we talked. Thursday or yeah, Friday. I think it was Friday. Yeah, it was Friday. I haven't talked to him since. Let's see if he calls me in the next couple of days. I don't want to bother them because of the holiday.
Yeah.
If he calls me in the next couple of days, I'll see his hair because he always FaceTimes me, or Wednesday when I pick him up.
Yeah.
We'll see if she respects me or not.
But that picture you showed me, it looked like he had hair on the sides still, and then just more hair up top.
Yeah, she
didn't pick it. Like, she didn't, like, buzz it to the blade down to the skin.
No, I don't think she has that or knows how to.
Okay.
It was pretty short. That could have been some time after too, but yes,
Gotcha.
It was extremely short on the side, and then just a strip of hair right here. Just
yeah, I hear you, man.
yeah.
Because I mean, some of it's image. You know, you want him to look presentable. You don't want him to get made fun of because all of a sudden he has this mohawk when he goes back to school. However, I will say it is summertime, so by the time he went back to school, it would be grown out.
And that's what she told me for the summer. But it's like, no, like, we still go out in the summer. We still.
Yeah. And if it still really bad, you could always just cut the mohawk down, and then all of a sudden his hair would just all grow out together.
Yeah, well, that's what I had to do last time because I wanted his hair to grow back evenly. But it's still like, I don't want to have to do that. You've seen my son. You've seen pictures of his hair. Like, my son's got nice hair, Brad. If my son had my hair, I'd say do whatever you want. That's why I wear a hat all the time. I have terrible hair. I don't like my hair. My son I'm so happy my son did not get my hair. So happy. He has a nice hairline, nice hair. So, I don't know.
I got you, man.
Got a dad joke?
So this is what we're going to do for a dad joke today.
What are we going to do?
We're going to just pull this up, and we're going to just scroll. And I'm just going to pinpoint something. Like, ready? It's like Price is Right or something. Like, do. Okay. All right, here we go. Ready? This one's terrible. I mean, I don't even like this one. Can February March? No. But April May. How do lawyers say goodbye? We'll be suing ya.
To the man in the wheelchair that stole my camouflage jacket. You can hide, but you can't run.
That's a good one. See? You're better at finding them than me.
Oh.
Want to hear a joke about paper? Never mind. It's terrible. Terrible.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
Some of these jokes, I've realized, like, as I read them, you have to actually be reading it. So, like, for you to say it out loud, it doesn't do it justice as if you were to read it because you kind of have to see the word lingo in some of them.
Atheism is a non-profit organization. Non-profit.
Oh, prophet. Yeah. So, see, that's one you'd have to read.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking profit, like IT instead of ET.
Yeah.
Phone home, ET.
When does a joke become a dad joke?
When you don't laugh.
When it becomes apparent. All right, get us out of here, man.
All right, man. Hey, you just witnessed episode 18 on Dear Dad with Ivan and Brad. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you think about raising your kids and, push them, don't push them. What are some issues you guys have had with co-parenting? Are the issues that we have had and mentioned, are they worth being upset about, or do we have legitimate arguments? But anyways, leave a comment, like us, subscribe us, and share us, guys. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.